Capitalism. I just want to discuss capitalism as a concept of government. I want to see some of the watchword, I want to see the meaning, the features, countries that practice capitalism, what are they called, we have the difference. Now let's start. Capitalism is a government economics policy in which all means of production, distribution, flow of goods comes from private individuals, not the government. In fact, government participation in the economics has to do with the minimum stage, not maximum, very small. That is if they want to come in. But in extreme cases, we see that it's at the minimum. They don't even have to come at all. Now, what are the things that characterize this capitalism? We have private ownership of business on the economic sector. Private individuals or citizens of the country who are well-to-do can come into the government and participate in all aspects, all areas of economics. They can provide water, they can provide housing, that is shelter, medicine, in fact every area, because it's their own economics. Not the government does not have anything to do with it. And also, most capitalist economy is a two-party system. And in this system of government, you find that it's aristocratic in nature. What do I mean by that? You remember when I was talking about aristocracy, I said it's a government that the best few or the most qualified few, where the minority rules the government. I said that it's for the benefit of the citizen. But talking about aristocracy here in this topic, capitalism, is a selfish type that is practiced by these few people, in that these private individuals, these few that come out to take control of government, tend to exploit citizens. One major disadvantage of this system is exploitation, as we are going to see, because in this system of government, everything is being inflated. Their aim is to make profits and not providing essential services to the citizen, because they are not indebted to this citizen. Instead, these citizens work and also fill the pocket of this few. That is why we say that they are aristocratic in nature. Then next, we want to see they are competitive too. In an economic system whereby everything provided in the society stems from the private individuals, everything is provided by citizens who are well-to-do, is competitive, who want to give the best, and as they are competitive, they tend to bring out qualified, skilled technicians, quality goods, quality materials, and quality structures. That's that people are very competitive, and when they are competitive, you see people bring out nice things because they want good patronage. So, in fact, capitalism encourages private initiative, and this private initiative helps to bring quality goods and also quality facilities that make the country to grow. Whereby a country follows capitalism, we see that that country will be highly developed. That is why we say that those countries who practice capitalism are called first world class, or they are called developed country. Notice a difference. When we're talking about communism and socialism, we said something that those countries who practice it are called second class or developing countries. But those who practice capitalism are called first world class or developed country. Note here, they are not developing, but they have reached their zenith. They are now developed. What are the names of this country? We have some examples. We have North America, we have New Zealand, we have Western Europe, we have Israel, we have Australia, and a list of them. These countries are called developed country. Okay, they are working at a great pace. And if you look closely into this country, we see that there are many developed things coming from them. Look at this very well. The cars we are using, where do they come from? They are from this country are listed. Most of the modern instruments we are using now, they come from this country. And even this platform we are using to impart this information now, these ideas comes from this developed country. Do you see? Because of private initiative. Okay? Now, Knowing this feature of capitalism, we want to also know disadvantage, or we can say call it demerits. One of the demerits and the basic one is exploitation. Citizens are being exploited because the price tag is on a higher margin. Okay? And doing that, we also have dumping. Another disadvantage is we have dumping. Those countries who are said to be developed, because of the high competition, goods are being produced in excess quantity, and when this is done, produced in excess quantity, they are given to those countries that are called developing, or the ones who call underdeveloped. Because of the excess flow, they pack it out of their country and give it to other ones who are still developing, who are there at the bottom. Okay, so two major demerits. The other ones are subs and might not be mentioned. We have exploitation and we have dumping. And dumping in economics refer to where inferior goods are being transported from where they are being produced to other countries who are underdeveloped or who are beneath the status of the country who produce these goods. The difference between socialism and capitalism. Capitalism is practiced in a government that have two-party system. Mostly practiced in government that has two-party system. While socialism is practiced in government that has a one-party system or a dictatorship type. That is to say that one man talk here. While capitalism, which is also called private government or self-government, we have two-party. There's always competition in whatever they are doing. In their government, in their economy, they have two rival parties in government. That's why we see in America there are just two dominant parties. Okay, and in other countries like Cuba, they practice a one-party system. The second difference between these two economic systems is that capitalism is practiced by private individual. In that system, all the economics policies, both distribution, production, exploitation, importation, flow of goods is from the private initiative. But socialism is from the state or the government. It flows from the state or the government. We have mentioned two already. Theory. We also have the reason why capitalism is being practiced. It's practiced for the sake of profits. On the other hand, socialism is practiced to give the citizen basic or essential services. Now let's break it down. When this system is being practiced, it's break out of socialism. Countries who have practiced socialism for a long time break even to capitalism because it makes that country stagnant, and citizens tend to seek for higher standard of living, so they move to capitalism. And when they move to it, their sole aim is what? To make profit, to make extra money apart from the little that government is giving to them. Because in socialism, we see that standard of living is low. It's not too low because beneath them they have a lower class, which is the underdeveloped country. Okay, then on the other hand, providing of essential services. Like I said when I was talking about communism, I said that countries who stick to socialism and communism stay there because of harsh colonial administration. Because of external influence or interference, they tend to move to this part of government in which no other factor or influence will come to their country. Whatever they have, they're happy with it and make them not to progress. That's why I say that at a time, people who practice socialism will drift to capitalism. But extreme form like communalism, they don't easily move because they have to retrograde. They go back to socialism before they can go back to capitalism, and that will take a very long period of time. So now we've known capitalism, we've known the features, the sole aim of going into capitalism. And also went far to tell you that anybody who practices capitalism has once practiced socialism. Okay, because socialism is the lowest form of communism, whereby government owns all the means of production and thereby moving to capitalism. And the reason why people practice capitalism is because of profit, to make extra money apart from that given to them by the government. And I said the differences. I also mentioned that countries who practice capitalism are called first class or first first world class government or developed government. And in talking about this developed government, I said we have developed countries, we have underdeveloped countries, which is the second world class. And those people who are second world class, they are under socialism. Okay, then we have underdeveloped country. When we talk about land government policies, we are going to see these underdeveloped countries that are coming up, and that will be our next basic concept. We want to talk about feudalism.